All right, let's try this out. Welcome everyone to another DCC Sodor video. Today we're going to be looking at the Bachmann 2024 announcements. This is the 2024 catalog. It's got a nice Acela 2 cover. I really like this photo that they used. Really shouldn't be, but I'm excited for that Acela 2 set. But we're not here to talk really about all the other stuff Bachmann's releasing. We're here to talk about the Thomas & Friends releases. So this year, if you saw me on Thomas Tuesday, then you know that this month, Doug Blaine mentioned that this year, 2024, is going to be a little bit of a catch-up year. Doesn't mean that there's nothing new. There are actually a couple new items and quite a few things marked as new. So let's take a look at those things. One thing we can see here are the sets. Those aren't new. Let's move on. So the next thing that's still marked as new, even though they've been announced since 2021 or 2. I'll double check that and put that in the comment. Is the DCC and Sound Thomas and Percy. Now, I'm obviously, given the name of my channel, super excited about these, so I really hope we get an update on these at least this year. But at this point, there has been no word as to when these will be releasing. But hopefully we hear something about them at some point this year. So next page, we've got some new locomotives. We've got Bo, of course, and he should be coming out in the next couple months. Salty with an updated paint scheme, as it says there. It's like so minimal, I just don't understand. I don't know why they're marketing him as that. So many people have wanted Salty as it is. But anyways, they're still marking Salty as new. I know that they mentioned they've hit a little bit of a snag with the drivetrain. So he's been delayed a little bit, but he should still be on track for this year, hopefully. Of course, we've got Rebecca and Stanley. Super excited about those releases for sure. Rebecca, we should be seeing a painted sample in March on Thomas Tuesday, and I don't know if there have been any progress that's been made on Stanley. I kind of doubt it at this point. I don't expect us to see any samples of him till later in the year. The open carriage in blue, that's still coming. No updates on that either, so we'll probably see something this year again. As for rolling stock, that's other than that carriage. I know that there are the couple of box vans that they have announced, but those are just illustrations pulled from the wiki. And then they also have still marked the the Brenham Bay and Mr. Jolly's Chocolate Factory vans as new. Fair enough. Accessories. So I know we've got a ton of accessories coming. So Topham Hatt's car and Bulgy are new. Bulgy was announced in summer 2024, or 2023, I should say. It is 2024. So hopefully both him and the Fat Controller's car, Sir Topham Hatt's car, we'll be seeing here in the near future. Figures, Tidmouth Shed still marked as new. Everything else is pretty much is the same. So that's it for HO scale. Let's move on to the narrow gauge stuff, HON 30. I don't know why. I think they still mark it as HO narrow gauge, though, even though it is technically HON 30, because later in the book, they do have an HON 30 scale where they're releasing Teleflin and 3 of the Teleflin coaches. Well, we'll get to that. Anyways, so we've got the typical narrow gauge line. We still got Sir Handel and Duncan being marketed as new. Sir Handel actually has a price, which is interesting. hopefully that means we're going to get some updates, because we've really been lacking, and Sir Handel has been released, or announced at least, since 2023. So hopefully something is coming in the future for Sir Handel. Duncan, however, I'm not surprised that we have no updates on him, as it's just they need to finish Sir Handel before they start working on Duncan. But I am still glad they're starting to work on Duncan. There are some new slate wagons. I'm really looking forward to the new slate wagons. Nice to get some variety in not only road number but also color. So I'll definitely be picking up at least a couple of each. Not the new, well, obviously the road number, the one with the road number, I won't be picking up more than one of. And then all of the gondolas that they're releasing in high side wagons, and then the gunpowder vans. I'm really looking forward to those gunpowder vans. So we're going to skip way far down in the catalog to the HON 30 section, as I mentioned. They are doing 3 liveries of Califlin in black, green, and red. And I saw 2 of these at the Amherst Train Show in Springfield, Massachusetts, and I thought they looked really good, and I'm really looking forward to getting these guys. I'm definitely going to be picking up probably the green one or the black one. I'm actually not too. The red looks good, but it's just not my taste. Although eventually I may pick up all 3 of them just to have them complete. And of course, picking up one of the Califlin coaches, one of each, since they do have numbers on them. Those, I'll put those in once we have pre-orders for them. I'm sure I'll put in a pre-order for each of those, especially since they do match the Skarloey Railway engines as well. So sticking with the N gauge track, we'll move on to N scale. So for N scale, pretty much nothing too exciting, other than we do have a promo pick for Gordon. Which means that he should be here in the next month or 2. I really hope so. I know that Gordon has been, according to Train World, one of the most popular N-scale releases. So I know that I'm glad I put a pre-order in for him, because when he comes, it'll be quite a frenzy for him. So, but I'm really looking forward to Gordon. As many of you do know, Gordon is my favorite character. So getting Gordon will be quite a treat. Emily, they're still using her HO photo for, so this must have been put together a little bit before the Springfield show, and they had the chance to get the N-scale image in there as well. On to rolling stock, Henrietta is still coming. The express coaches. Oh, and of course Paxton and Diesel. How could I forget about them? Really looking forward to that. I was kind of hoping in this catalog we'd see like Henry or something, because I know Bachmann seems to be following a very similar release pattern to their G-scale line, other than the addition of Gordon. But I think having a release of Henry in N-scale would sell like hotcakes, because of the chassis that they've used for Gordon is just exquisite. I mean, the detail on the valve gear is just incredible. And it would be perfect for Henry, so I don't know what's taking them so long, but I'm really hoping for Henry announcement in summer 2024. So, but that's a little ways off. So, that's N-scale. Well, there are still the sets from in N-scale. So those are pretty cool. I won't be picking one of those up. I'll be picking up Emily and her coaches separately. Speaking of that, I do need to go to Train World and put in my pre-order for that. Anyways, we'll get to that later. So, that's it for N-scale. Little lackluster again there, but we still do have I don't like really still have 2 locomotives in development, one in production and one just about finishing production, plus 3 pieces of rolling stock at least. So the N scale line, while still very small, and I would like to see it expand more, I'm happy with where it's at right now, and I hope Bachmann keeps them coming. So let's move on to G scale. So G scale, well, it's not really super interesting. I am kind of excited for this set that's coming out this year. They've re-released the Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle set, but with one exception. Thomas has DCC and sound. So Thomas, the large scale line at least, uses a Soundtracks decoder, which if you know on my channel, I'm a big ESU fan. Of course, Bachmann doesn't really work with ESU too much. They work with some of our domestic DCC and sound companies like TCS and Soundtracks. So it makes sense as to why they're using that Soundtrack sound module that they've been selling for quite a few years now. But I would really, really like to see. I'm really, really looking forward to this set. And who knows? It may end up being a venture into G scale. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments. So other than that, we've got Percy with DCC and sound sold separately, and then Thomas, Percy, Emily, Toby, James, Diesel, and Paxton are all still for sale. Diesel and Paxton don't have a sound module with them, but obviously that could be fixed with an ESU decoder. And any of the files that I have, I know in the description now, you can check out my Google Drive link, and you can actually find some public free sound files for your Thomas & Friends locomotives. So you can use the Diesel file that I have there, and I'll be putting a Paxton file down there as well. Those can be used on any size decoders from ESU, so be sure to check that out in the description. And if you do buy a Diesel with DCC and sound, then or to put DCC and sound in, definitely try out that that sound file. I'm trying to do this all in one take, so we'll see how this goes. As for rolling stock, they've still got the museum coaches, which I thought were released, but I guess not. That just uses, again, the same red coach tooling. And then other than that, they are also doing the Brendam Bay and Mr. Jolly's Chocolate Factory box vans. I don't know if these were released first in HO or announced first in G scale, but in any case, they're doing those wagons in G scale as well. So other than that, that's it. Bachmann really is doing a catch-up here, which again, I am super happy about, because they've got a ton of stuff on the way. So we've got Salty, we've got Bo, we've got Rebecca, we've got Stanley. That's 4 locomotives just in DC. Then we've got the 2 DCC and sound engines on the way. So that's 6 locomotives in the Thomas & Friends range in just HO scale. Then in narrow gauge, we've got 2. We've got Sir Handel and Duncan. We've got basically 4 on the way in N gauge, and nothing in large scale right now. But there's tons of rolling stock coming out too in every brand, in every scale. There's accessories coming out. I mean, Bulgy the bus. I know I kind of went on about this in my other review, in my 2023 NMRA announcements, but Bulgy still, I like it. I mean, I still can't believe he, was in the show. Like, who'd have thought they'd figure out a way to use Bulgy the bus in the show? And now they're making him in HO scale. Plus Sir Topham Hatt's car, the figures. I mean, just a boatload of stuff coming from Bachmann. I'm glad that they're taking a step back and realizing that they've got to catch up. Again, I hope that means that we get some good progress on Duncan and Sir Handel this year, because of course, although I don't have my narrow gauge loop running again, that is a project for this year. So be sure to check out that, be on the lookout for videos on that. But in any case, like, it's super, super important to have the main 6 narrow gauge engines. And then that kind of begs the question, who's next? So, and I think that begs the question for all of these. What are we going to get in NMRA 2024? I believe the convention's again in August, or maybe late July. I don't remember. But it still begs the question, what's next? Because we've gotten a tender engine again in HO scale, which I really never thought we'd get again. But I guess Rebecca is, I mean, I'm super happy about Rebecca. So I'll be happy to have Rebecca. But yeah, who's next? Stanley was super popular. Do you think they'll do Hero next? Will they do another diesel next? Will we see Sydney finally? Will we see another diesel engine? Maybe Norman, Philip, Den, Dart. I mean, there's a ton of diesel engines that they could still do. And I'd actually like to see them do a few more diesel engines, especially like Dart. He would be super simple to do. And even Philip, I would love to see both of them, even if they didn't have moving eyes because they're small. Den and Dart, Philip, those would be great characters to have. And then an N scale. Who's coming next in N scale? Hopefully Henry or Edward. Let's get engines 1 through 7 done, and then we've got the whole original Steam team in N scale, and maybe we'll get Duck and Oliver. Hopefully Oliver to go with Toad. In HO narrow gauge, who are we going to get next? Victor? I know that Bachmann's pretty much sticking with CGI characters, so I would assume Victor. And then when it comes to the narrow gauge line, there's really only Luke and Millie left, at least in CGI. So really, we're coming down to the wire here, folks. I mean, not that I'm sure that there'll become a point where Bachmann's going to understand, oh yeah, if we want to keep expanding this line, we've got to do some Auto Series stuff. So who knows? We may see Duke, Fearless Freddy, Bertram, Smudger, man, even Proteus. We could even see Proteus. Mighty Mac. I think Mighty Mac would be awesome to have in HO narrow gauge. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming, and then even large scale. I would like to see them do Edward in large scale. I think Edward would be really cool because he's a very similar size to James. I'm sure that now they're a little apprehensive because prices of things have gone up quite significantly. I mean, Rebecca's retail price is about $300. And that's an HO scale. So I would imagine that Edward, I don't know how much. I have to flip back through to the G scale section of the catalog, but I mean, James is probably up there, and I could imagine Edward being probably $600. I mean, he would not be cheap. But I know that a lot of people have been wanting an Edward in N scale, and maybe even like, Rosie in large scale. I said Edward in N scale, I meant large scale. But yeah, even Rosie. So anyways, as much as I love to rant and ramble about new announcements and speculate on what could be to come, let me know what you think of this announcement. Are you glad that Bachmann is taking a year off? Are you frustrated that they are? Did you want more? Did you want them to get further behind? I mean, just let me know. What do you think? Did you want to see Henry coming out in N scale as a surprise? What did you think might be coming out this year, or is this a complete surprise to you? I know for me, at least, the Slate Wagons, those were a complete surprise. But anyways, Let me know your thoughts on the new announcements in the comments below, and they don't have to be Thomas related. If you've got some interest in some of the other announcements, let me know that too. Let me know what you or who you would like to see released by Bachmann in the future. Do you like to see Nia? I could take it or leave it, honestly. But I know that there's been a lot of people who have suggested that. I think her valve gear would be cool to see her complex valve gear. What about Sydney? As I mentioned before, other diesel engines. What other steam engines would you like to see them do? I'd like to see them do some more obscure characters. But that's what I like to hear from you guys. What do you guys want to see from Bachmann next? So anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video, and subscribe down below. And again, leave a comment with your thoughts, and let me know what you want to see from the next video. I've got a couple videos in the works. I'll tease some of them, and you can let me know what you want to see next. And that's about it. So thank you guys again so much for watching this video and listening to me ramble for over like 20 minutes on Bachmann's new announcements. And we'll do this again in the summer. Late summer 2024 will be the next round of announcements from Bachmann. So without further ado, I'm going to thank you guys for the third time or fourth, I don't remember, for watching this video. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.